Welcome to another PC Sportscards PSA submission reveal. This is Josh with PC Sportscards. We have an economy submission back today, economy 2022.39. It was sent in on March 31st, marked as received on April 11th, and completed on 5/26. So under 2 months to get this order back, which is a very good turnaround time. We post these videos every couple of days. We also do reveals of cards that are going out to PSA, consignment cards, and some how-to videos. If that kind of stuff interests you in the baseball card or sports card or trading card hobby, click that subscribe button. Click the little bell to get alerts. Make sure you comment. Tell us what you think of the videos. Tell us if you agree or disagree with what we're saying. And make this interactive. If you don't like the video, hit that dislike button. I'm not offended by anything. So, we get asked quite often about sending in Hall of Fame rookie cards, whether they're going to be an 8 or a 9 or a 10. And what we want to go over today is how you determine when you should be sending those cards in. So here you see a PSA 8, there's 1,400 graded. It's by far the biggest number there. Then it starts getting smaller and smaller as you get higher. So we're going to say a 9 or above in this case. So once you get above the big chunk graded, that's what I would like to call an investor or a speculator grade, right? You're looking to make a profit from the grading of the card. When you're getting an 8 or lower here, that's more of a collector's grade. You're looking to put that card away. You may not make money, especially at the $50 level. Maybe at the $25 level you make money, but it's not a card that you're going to be turning a quick profit on. And that's sort of the number you want to look for. You want to see when it becomes a rare card to get, right? There's only a 33% of these cards are a PSA 9 or better. So that's why we're seeing a raw card for $26 and a PSA 9 for $120 and a PSA 10 for a massive $1,000. Huge profit if you hit a PSA 10 on this card, but it's so rare to get. There's so few of them. So if you see a card like this, and you're going to have to do your homework on a lot of these cards to see what's rare, because if you're looking at like a Topps or some other cards that are a little bit more common from then, you're not going to see the same profitability on the lower grades because they were easier to grade cards. I hope that made sense. If it does or doesn't, make sure you comment. Let us know if you agree or disagree, or what you're looking for, or what cards you have an example that might fit what we're just talked about. So on the top of the screen, it says that it's time to be selective. And we're saying it's time to be selective on not only the players, not only the cards, but the players. We want to be sending in superstars right now. The problem that people see is they'll see a card of a player, and we have an example of this later on. They see a card of a player that there's some profit, like a card's $10 raw, and the few PSA 10s that are out, the first ones that are out, will go for $75, $80, and they're like, wow, I can make some money on that. The problem there, here comes some cool Satchel Paige cards. The problem there is if it's not the guy that's getting talked about the most, if it's like even in baseball with Jason Dominguez, if it's not that guy that's getting talked about, the profitability disappears really fast. It doesn't matter if you get a 10 on the card. If nobody wants to buy it, if nobody wants to buy the card, this is a cool card, then you're going to lose money on it, especially at the $50 level. So what we suggest is sending in superstars, sending in like Joe Burrow Honeycomb. This is probably a short print, probably a low pop card, not one of the ones that I looked up. But this is a profitable card at $50. It's probably, I'm not even going to guess, but it's a kind of card that would be like a $50 raw card that's $300 as a PSA 10. And there's a lot of profit there. And even a PSA 9, since it's a short print, there's probably money to be made. Right? Even when you send in good cards of not popular players, you lose the ability to make money, because in order to make money, somebody else needs to want to buy it, and that person also needs to value the additional grade, right? Some people just want raw cards. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, like these Travis Kelce's, to me, you're not buying this to flip, I don't think. And if you are, it's not my idea, because I don't know how many people collect tight ends. So, like, I don't see the big deal of waiting for the $25 level to come out on a card like Travis Kelce. So, I mean, that's just an example that happened to pop up. Like a gold refractor like this, gold refractor limited to 50 in 2013. Sure, that's a card that people will collect, right? But these other regular rookies, I just don't see it. It's not really what I'm expecting people to send in at this level. So we have a couple of examples of the right players to send in and the right cards to send in and the right card but maybe the wrong player. So you have to be getting both right. We talked about Herbert a lot. We talked about these die cuts a lot. I'm seeing more and more of them come back and more of them go out. Cool Devers. Here's another example. We talk about this a lot, getting them in first and having the profitability. But here we have a PSA 10 and a PSA 8 of Wander, and this came out this year, right? So like this product came out in January. We're looking at March. So every card that's been graded of Wander Franco, every Topps card, all 1,300 that have been graded by PSA were at least at the $50 level. $5 raw, $26 for a 9, probably $15 for an 8, and $110 as a buy it now. So probably a $100 card as a PSA 10. Sure, there's profitability there if you know what you're looking for, but it's already at the diminishing returns. Even at a $25 submission, the profit's not there. And so people would say, like, what's the alternative? And your alternative is something like SGC for $23, $25. But again, a 9.5, you're losing money. And then the high-end profitability there is $61 minus all your fees and stuff. You'll come out of there with like $50 to $55 for a cost of $30. And I don't know the pop report, but I'm going to guess it's not great. I'm going to guess even if it's the same as PSA, your ability to make money on a card like that disappears. And that's why we talk a lot about parallels. And there's just not going to be a lot of them graded. So like if you get a gold, that's where you're going to make money. And even though that's out of 2,000 something cards, we're already at a point with that kind of card that like you're not beating anybody. The first person to send it in, fine, but like this was sent in late March, so you're already 2 months after release. So that's how fast we can get to 1,200 cards graded of somebody. So you really have to be picky with player and card. And you know, I think one thing I'm going to say a lot in this video, I think it's going to be the title of the video when I post it, is like, don't be a sheep. Don't be a sports card sheep, right? If you think you're the only one doing it, you're probably wrong, right? So what can you send in that's different than what other people are sending in? And I don't know the answer because we don't send a lot of our own stuff in for grading anymore. We've sort of skewed toward buying graded cards instead of getting stuff graded because, especially with our consignment business, it's hard for us to buy raw cards. You know, people are just, oh, if I'm selling it, I might as well just send it to your consignment. So that we've had a lot of that happen recently. And this is a cool card. I don't know if this is worth it, but like, again, to me, this is a better card to grade than a base Topps card. It's numbered to 50. It's cool. There's probably not going to be a lot of them. And at most, there's 50 PSA 10s. Is somebody else going to pay a premium for a PSA 10 of that card? Probably. I don't know how much of a premium, but they'll probably pay a premium. So we have two cool cards, really cool cards. I didn't even see this in the list. This is sick. Finest Kobe, game used. Looks like some kind of letter patch. That's awesome. And then again, you know, right player, good product. Blue Scope's at least limited to retail. Like it's at least it's a short print of some sort. So, but we want to send the big names, right? But we also want to send cards that not everybody is going to send in, because once everybody starts sending them in, I don't see people saying, hey, I really need those Wander PSA 10 Topps cards. Like, you saw what happened. We've said it in the way of like, don't let history repeat itself on you and stuff like that, right? I didn't miss that. Sorry guys, I have the next card coming out is not what I thought it was. Oh, I'm on the wrong pile, that's why. Okay, so we're a little out of order. We'll have to put that back in order. So Mbappe, looking at these numbers, what's your strategy, right? So $45 for a raw card, basically $95 for a PSA 9, and $255 for a PSA 10. you're looking at a 50% chance you're going to break even, and very little downside if you get. There's not that many 8s or worse. So I'd definitely be willing to send this card in just because of the additional premium on a PSA 9 versus what I normally expect that to be a $70 card as a PSA 9, not a $100 card. So like if it's a 9 and I go through consignment, I get $40 extra out of it, so I lose $10. But if it's a 10, I'm making something like 140. So the risk here is worth the reward. So that's a good example of a card that normally I would say like, oh, I don't know. There's a lot of those sent in, but soccer cards are still hot, I guess, right? Like, I think that that was a shocker to me. Like when I looked at that, I was like, oh man, there's so many Mbappes that have been sent in. Look at that. There's going to be so many. There's no way this is a good card. This is definitely one of those cards that I'm going to say, yo, this should be $25. No question about it. Don't send it. And I was mistaken. This year of Young Guns was very hard. I remember Lafreniere was really tough. Definitely botched that last name. These are definitely out of order of my list. But good thing I know the topics that I'm talking about, so I know when I'm going to get to them. So another example, Buster Posey rookie. You don't need to spend $50 on that getting it graded. What's wrong here? There's peeling on the edges and corners, but I don't know why this is a 5. Wander, road to the show. Welcome to the show. Like an insert, like I don't see anybody having the value on that kind of card to pay extra for it to be a PSA 10. So you have to don't only put the thought in your head when you're going through these things. Don't only think like, hey, this is going to grade and I'm going to grade and make money right away. It's not a guarantee, right? Like, yes, there's profitability. Yes, there's the ability to make money. But, like, remember, somebody else needs to be on the other end to buy the graded card. So think, hey, would I want to buy this graded? Again, with all Bowman Chrome stuff, like, I'm definitely grading these rookies. I mean, I would look them over and know they're a 10. But I would definitely grade all these kinds of rookies right now. Cool rock card. Bowman Chrome Autos, if it's a $30, $40 card and you know it's a 10, send it in. I'm not saying rookie autos, I'm saying Bowman Chrome. This is a cool card. But here's an example. Gabriel Davis. I know it's a short print, numbered to 67, so it's not short print, it's parallel. But, like, he had one or two good games last year. If you're collecting it, why are you spending the extra money? And if you're trying to flip it or something, is the buyer going to care if that's a 10? Maybe. I am not a buyer that would care if that card's a 9 or a 10. If that were my card. Right? So you're throwing in a slab thinking like, oh, I'm going to throw money at it. And like, yes, the title of our video last week was, is it the best way for profitability? And the answer is yes. In my mind, the answer is 100% yes, that grading cards is the best way to profitability right now, the way the market stands. But you have to know what you're sending in. Like, nobody's paying more for an Emmanuel Quickly auto. Like, I'm sorry, like, and it's not valuable enough to where you're like, oh, I need to send it in economy. It's going to be a $1,500 card or a $1,200 card. It's cool, Ja. Like, Ja number to 35, yeah, send it in for sure because somebody's willing to pay more for Ja. Somebody's willing to pay. Now, you didn't get the grade you wanted, right? Cool, Luca. You didn't get the grade you wanted on this. But somebody's willing to pay more for LaMelo, right? Like, these are the right players. And that leads into our next topic, which is supposed to be topic 3, but it's actually topic 4. It's time to send those SPs and parallels. So here's a funny one. I was going through this. I'm like, oh, what's a PSA 9 on this card? There are none. 12 have been sent in. 12 are PSA 10s. To me, I'm looking for this card right now to get it raw and get it in. And, I mean, to me, a PSA 9 would probably still be over to $175, $200. So it's a safe card to send in to get a 9 on. But if there's 12 PSA 10s out there, I'm going to beat the market to that card, right? It also makes me think, okay, what other cards like this Mahomes Genesis, like is there a Peacock? Is there another short print that I could be picking up raw, looking it over to make sure it's at least a 9 and sending it in for $50? And not for nothing, that $50 turnaround time, say we have 2 months, we're looking at July 27th. Guess what July 27th is? July 27th is the start of the National, boys and girls. Well, we have 100% males watching this, so I could say boys and not worry about it, unless that it's a girl watching with a boy. So we'll say anybody watching this. We're looking at right into the peak of football preseason, right? So if we're looking at the peak of preseason football, that card might be worth more. Like, sure, there's going to be some 9s that come out. They're not all going to be 10s, right? Cool run of low-numbered Topps 22 stuff. So if you see stuff like that and you see cards like that like those short prints and parallels, if you could find them and know they're in good condition, those are great options to send in right now. Absolutely killer options to send in right now at the $50 level. So, and it's funny, I say all this and I don't do any of it. I don't send any of it. Maybe I should start buying raw again. Cool. This is a great card. Again, it's a little bit better than a base. Hilaire. I know it's numbered to $2.99. Again, I don't know who's paying more for it. So, Phil Simms, cool card. You know, great Giants quarterback. Numbered to 35, but like, again, I don't know who's paying a premium for a PSA 10 on it, and they're still going to pay the same premium because not many people are getting it graded. You're not racing anybody to grade that card. All right. This is why you stick to the top guys. Now, I know Bryson Stott is a top 50 prospect. I know that, right? March 5th, this card sold for $77 as a PSA 10. May, a 9 sold for $12 and a PSA 10 sold for $26. Paid $50 to get it graded and get $26 back after it grades a 10. He's not a hot name. He's not a sexy player when it comes to name recognition. And we have a ton of these that I think are going up on auction. And unfortunately for our customer, he's going to lose money on every single one of these cards. But let his mistake be a learning experience for you. You know, stick to the big names. Now, it could be that you want to put him away and invest in him. If you want to do that, that's great. He's your speculation guy. You're speculating that he's going to be the next Philly superstar. Cool. Wait for $25 level to come out. Right? Or let somebody else grade it and buy it when it's a PSA 10 for the same price. Herbert. See, this is a better card to grade. It's probably cheaper raw with more upside as a PSA 10 and more safety as a PSA 9. Because it's the guy, it's one of the guys that's being talked about. Right? It's one of the guys that's being talked about. That's who you got to go. Unfortunately, if you want to go against the grain, that's cool. Go against the grain. I recommend doing it. You'll be able to have huge profit potential if you go against the grain and hit. But if you're going to do that, do it in a safer way, right? I'm not going to say smarter. I'm not going to say better. I'm going to say safer. Wait for $25 level to come out because Bryson Stott's not going to getting called up. I don't think, you know. So you're not rushing to get that card. Send it in August, September, whenever that next level comes out, and get it for next season. Like, don't spend it now. And this is a perfect example of that. Trevor Lawrence, $8 raw here. He's the guy to go after in 20. One of the 3 guys to go at 5 quarterbacks. There's already 400 of them graded. And a PSA 9 is a loss, no question about it. So you could wait for $25 level if you want. But if you think it's a 10 and you think you make money, it's $200 as a PSA 10, right? So $8 plus 50 to get 200 is good if you know what you're looking for. So, and a good share of these, almost 75% of them, are PSA 10s. And probably the same entry point, but since you got the player that people are looking for, you have the hot name. Since you have that hot name, you are going to be the one that's making money, while the people that are getting the more speculative guys that nobody's heard of, it's cool. Big crease going through it, but still a cool card. They're going to be losing money. So, again, agree, disagree. Let me know what you think. Which of those do you think are good investments? Which are good speculation cards? What are any of those that you want to throw into your collection? You know, everybody collect what you like, invest in what you like, speculate on what you think's going to go up. And again, I hope you had a great holiday weekend and look forward to putting out more videos. Remember, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, click the like button, click the alert button so you know when we post these videos, and talk to you next time.